Hi traders, and welcome to today's ACY Securities Forex Market Analysis. My name is Duncan Cooper and I will be your host. Today we'll be focusing on the dollar index and the pound to the US dollar. So first we'll look at the news items coming out for the week, and then we'll have a look at the charts. Hi traders, just at forexfactory.com, I'm just going to review the news items coming out for the week. Now today I'm going to be reviewing the pound US dollar. So I'm going to look at the items that could affect that particular pair. So no news items for today, Tuesday. These times are in Queensland time, my time. But getting into Wednesday, 1 o'clock in the morning for me. Fed Chair Powell testifies. And then later into Wednesday evening, 11:30 p.m, we've got the US CPI, core CPI. So those items could affect the market. Getting into Thursday, my time again, 11:30 p.m, we've got the US dollar PPI coming out. And then getting into Friday, same time again, 11:30 p.m. on the evening. Friday evening, we've got the core retail sales and retail sales. So there's a few items coming out that can definitely affect the pound US dollar. So be aware of those. So let's get straight into the charts. Alright, first I just want to review the dollar index. This is the monthly chart, and I've got my major levels of monthly support or resistance drawn in. The monthly chart has been in an uptrend for many months now. We're just contending with the level of old what was support now becoming resistance at 95.95. The weekly chart here over the last month or two has been consolidating. It's been a little bit above that level of monthly resistance and a bit below. So MACD is starting to maybe cross down, so we might get a short-term move. Could have a longer term move down to 94.54, who knows. But at the moment, as we get to the daily chart, you're going to see that this is just consolidating. So the MACD is just reacting to the fact that price isn't really going anywhere. But the trend, if we just look at this closely, there's a slightly lower top maybe forming there in the short term. So we might see a bit more downside, or we may see more consolidation. Let's just move it to the daily. This is really where you get a good picture of what the dollar index is doing, which is next to nothing. Very much sideways. It is holding above, for the most part, at or above 95.95. Any dips below seem to get rejected and pushed back above. So time will tell if the dollar index gets support here to move higher, or are we going to drift further down, maybe get support at 94.54. So overall consolidatory. If you did look at the euro US dollar, that's very consolidatory, so that's why we're seeing the same thing in the dollar index. So always good to see, have a look at what the dollar index is doing. This is sideways. We're going to look at the pound dollar now. Pound dollar, even though the dollar index is sideways, the pound dollar has been moving up, and it's moved up to a good level of weekly resistance. So this is the weekly chart. We're seeing lower tops, lower bottoms. This move up at the moment is corrective. For the weekly chart trend to change, we would need to break above the last lower top, or at least put in a higher bottom, and we don't have any of that at the moment. So at the moment, I'm just considering this is a rally against the overall dominant downtrend, and support is down here at 131.68, and I got two levels of resistance, 135.71 and 136.02. Now we're kind of pretty much on the 135.71 level at the moment. We're just fractionally above. We're trading at 135.79. So this level at 135.71 is acting as support or resistance at the moment. I'm just looking at it as though between 135.71 and 136.02, that's just a band of resistance that we're trading in at the moment. Alright, so I'm anticipating, if I just draw my fib in, we've had a nice rally back up to resistance. We've also rallied back up to the 62% fib zone, or fib level at 135.79. Is this where price action turns around, comes down to test long-term weekly support, and maybe breaks through and trades down into the 127 extension over time? Time will tell, but it's the area where we could expect that to happen. So can the lower time frame start to show a change? Alright, so that's the weekly view. To the day chart, what we're going to see is that this is in an uptrend. We've had a kind of a double triple bottom down here where we found support. We've moved up to, well, we had a higher top here anyway when we bounced up. Higher top, triple bottom, moved up to a further higher top here and a higher bottom here. So we have an uptrend on the weekly chart. And we know we're at the 62% level here of the major range on the weekly chart. We can just take that off. So the question is where that 62% level is and this weekly level of resistance, 135.71 and 136.02. Is this an area of resistance that we're going to turn around and move down from? Of course, at the moment the weekly chart trend is up, MACD's up, price action's up. We're not seeing a daily chart change here at the moment. Just going to put in my support and resistance for this time frame. So support's at 135.13. And there's a level just here, 136.07. There we go. So there's a couple of levels of resistance there that are now in the way of the market. The weekly level at 136.02 and then 136.07, the daily level of resistance there. So now notably for the last, not including today's trading that's just started, the last 4 days, twice we've tested the 36.02 level and we've held. So the question in my mind is this where we're stopping? I'll just put the fib back in so we all know where the 62 level is. Are we stopping at 136.02? Resistance, 62% fibs at 135.79. Are we going to hold here and start to see a reversal down? To change the trend on the daily, we need to break this lower level of support at 134.30, and it would be great if we saw the MACD cross down. So the MACD is overextended but still showing an uptrend, and there's more than a possibility that we could just trade through this level. So what's going to, get us set or ready to trade to the downside from this area where we could be topping out at. Alright, let's just get rid of that fib. So I'm going to drop down to the 4-hour chart. And I'm just going to get my drawing tool. Here we go. Alright, so before I start drawing in, what I'm seeing at the moment is on the 4-hour chart, we still just about have an uptrend. This is a higher bottom. This is fractionally a higher top, but we're kind of double topping here at the 136.02 level, and we dropped down in yesterday's trading. So for me to start to engage here, what I'd really like to see is that this move that started down from 136.02 goes a little bit deeper, changes the structure of trend to down. We have a lower bottom form. Then maybe we ride back up, and that 135.71 weekly support or resistance line becomes clear resistance for the market. That's where we can put in a lower top on the 4-hour chart, and as I see it turn, I'll be dropping down to a lower time frame to look for an opportunity to sell, and then trying to hold that for a longer term move down, all the way down to a weekly support if that occurs. Alright, so first of all, I'm monitoring up here for a change in trend on the 4-hour. Looks like we might have a double top here. If you look at the MACD as well, even though I'm using my drawing tool here, there's a slightly lower peak on the MACD to a very fractionally higher top. Alright, so looking for price to come down, put in a lower bottom, rally ideally back to 135.71 and hold below resistance, and then looking for an opportunity to sell on a lower time frame. If that can occur, then long term, if I can hold the position, looking to target 131.68 down at weekly support. Okay, all right traders, that's my analysis for today. Have a great trading week. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Want a real opportunity to improve your trading? Join Duncan Cooper in his free 15-part webinar series designed to help you improve all areas of your trading. The upcoming webinars for this week, the 11th of January. In this webinar, Duncan will walk you through the basics of chart reading, understanding a candlestick chart, and teaching you the most popular candlestick patterns that traders use, finishing with a live chart exercise. 12th of January, Forex trading, live market analysis. During this webinar, Duncan will review 12 currency pairs, determine the key support and resistance trading levels for the week ahead, discuss his favorite risk to reward trading opportunities, and answer your trading questions. 13th of January, trade orders and execution. How to use market, stop, and limit orders. In this webinar, Duncan will teach you the different order types that can be used when trading. He will cover market, stop, and limit orders. Duncan will finish with a live demonstration in the MetaTrader 4 trading platform. Register at the link below.